literalists know what the truth is. And you want a society that rejects science on these major points. Rejecting science that doesn't support your idea of creationism, and rejecting the science that doesn't support your idea that there is no global warming. We cannot allow you to continue to destroy us with your narrow-minded thinking. You keep doing this, you've done it for thousands of years, we gotta call you on it. We want you to be good, faithful people. We want you to love Jesus. We want you to love God. But don't hold back information that we have that can help us understand creation. You should not be. You should be at the forefront of all this. Because you should be so filled with the idea that it is your responsibility to help maintain and beautify and keep God's creation. That's what Pope Francis said in his Laudato Si, his book about caring for our earth, God's creation, and it's supposed to be your responsibility, or at least part of it. So just rejecting the science that says, yes, our lifestyle, our polluting lifestyle is affecting our earth, is not demonic. It's truth. And if you care about truth at all, you should care about these things. This is not a progressive, liberal, you're getting so into your head with your politics that you don't even realize the consequence of your own belief system, which is developed or created a lot of bad habits. And we're in the middle of it, with all the bad habits that have come from a huge section of the population that will not accept evidence, accept scientific facts to help describe what's going on in our world. Because it doesn't say, a couple reasons. You reject evolution because that's not what's in the Bible. The Bible said, hey, we're created in 6 days. And so you have to reject that. But you can't reject it. How can you possibly stand in moral authority if creation somehow turns out to be nothing more than a story? How can you do that? Well, it's because you have no faith in your own relationship with God. Without the faith, without the acceptance, without the understanding that and your responsibility, you have no capability, no discerning ability to make adjustments and to say, hey, wow, look at this. We've had people, brilliant people, who have taught us how the earth actually works. We don't have these superstitious ideas that someone upstairs is pounding on a drum to create thunder. It's all part of an intricate process that's revealed to us through the discipline of science. Science has no interest in proving that God does not exist. It doesn't. It's a pointless exercise. That's not anything they want to do. And it's not anything they really can do. God exists in the, we'll call it firmament, outside of space-time. It's this divine field that, that's really kind of inexplicable. Maybe someday they could actually measure these things because a number of people do have these kind of divine experiences. But there's no threat. Science is not going to take your God away. having our government do something about pollution and global warming is not a communist plot. We need our government to operate at the largest level so it can encourage industries to not do. They give the incentive, industries will follow. They don't mind. They know the science. But we need government to encourage them, because they'll always do what's expedient and cheap. They need to be compelled to do the right thing, and the way they make it right is by making it so that they are better off following the rule, because it'll favor their profit line. And it's not that all corporations are avoiding the truth, but they've definitely, a number of them have known the truth about global warming, and they've tried to stir up, and this is another problem. Because they know the habit of social conservative Christians, especially in this country, they are using you. They know that they can get you all upset by saying that this is some kind of government plot to control you, to take away your religious rights. The disdain. And you allow them to do that. You have aligned yourself with conservative thinking that is actually against your own thinking. You do not believe this. You know you have a responsibility to take care of the world. You know it. That's one of those faithful points that you know, because God has given you this dominion over this world, and He wants you to take care of our world, His creation. So for you to think that somehow there's some kind of plot against your religion is you're being used. You're being used. All these conservative talking points, always talking against the idea of global warming, always somehow suggesting, well, the evidence isn't quite in, we don't want government getting involved because you know how bad they are. They're not providing any real proof. They're just giving you this fear line. This is all based on some kind of fear. And they want you to elect people who are going to do nothing about global warming and prolong the need to create what we need. This is a problem. This is a major problem. This is where we are. This is in the post-truth world. And it came about from centuries of primarily Christian believers who accept the Bible literally and have blinded themselves. They've ignored science, they've ignored facts, and they're being used by that behavior, by that tendency that they have. People can now align themselves with you, and you align themselves with them, and truth doesn't matter, because you sense you have this moral authority to reject science that shows that creation did not take 6 days. This is not doing yourself or God any favors. You should be appalled. You should be angry with those self-serving interest groups who had no interest in your relationship with God and His relationship and desire for you to oversee His creation. We needed to know how the world works, how the universe came about. We needed to know all that. We still need to know that. We don't know everything. But we can make really good decisions based on that information. And as a lover of God and as a lover of His creation, you should want that. And you shouldn't listen to the people that tell you that global warming is some kind of a hoax. That is the sad part of all of it. They used you. They used your desperation. They used your tendency to reject, because your faith is more powerful than your logic or than your embracing of facts. And that's a problem. You need to embrace facts. You need to allow things to be put in proper perspective. And you can easily separate your factual life about the world we live in, and it doesn't go against your Bible. Your Bible has, he just wrote a quick little couple of chapters on this. There's no way this is to be interpreted as truth. Just a story to get the idea going, to create all of this genealogy so that we can worship one God. This should be all that you get out of that. Your personal relationship with God comes in a place outside of the literal words. It comes in the quiet moments when you're writing or painting or creating music or just doing something and you're just in that soulful place. That's where you belong. That's your faith. That's what you get your strength from. Who cares if the earth was created in 6 days or not? Who cares? Doesn't matter. And you should embrace the science because it's helping you understand what's going on. And if you really do want to be a good servant of God, He wants you to serve and serve His creation. So please let go of the need to be so literal in your faith. Read in the quiet of your home. Don't read with the groups. There's always this political agenda. You read for yourself. You read your Bible. You experience God in whatever way you experience God. That's where your faith is. That's where it belongs. That's where your strength comes. So please be a true follower of God. Please let go of the need to take things literally. Learn to discern. Learn to expand your understanding of your relationship with God. And don't make it about your studies, your Bible. Make it about your relationship. That's always where you'll do best. When you start to politicize everything and start to intellectualize everything, that's when you get lost. Reject all that. Don't be afraid of science. Let's restore truth in this age. And you can be the leaders, the forefront of that, by just recognizing that your faith comes from your emotion, your soul, your relationship. It doesn't come from the written word. It was there to create the idea. Now you can just go with it. All right, people, my time is up. Thank you very much. Take care.